No contest for presidency post in PRS, a good sign. Second booster dose essential for maximum protection. Top glove to buy solar power. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Cheryl Shaminato and this is TVS Nightline. Gabungan Party Sarawak or GPS Secretary General Dato Sri Alexander Nantalinggi today expressed his relief upon knowing there will be no contest over the presidency post in Parti Rakyat Sarawak or PRS. Taking it as a good and happy news, he said it will allow PRS top party leaders and members to work things out and focus more on the Rakyat.
The Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister also hoped PRS will continue to uphold unity among its members and work in harmony to support the betterment of the Dayak community in the quest to bring more success to the community and the people of Sarawak in general. Nanta, who is also Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Secretary General, said, as part of GPS component parties, PRS plays an important role in the coalition to maintain a stable state government, not only for the Dayak community, but also for the people of Sarawak as a whole. It was reported that PRS acting president, Dato' Joseph Salangandum, will succeed the late Tan Sri James Masing, who died of heart complications last year, after his vice president, Dato' John SIKIE TAYAI, who previously submitted his nomination paper to contest for the post at PRS Triennial Delegates Conference TDC in Cebu this weekend, has decided not to proceed.
Meanwhile, Dato' John SIKIE announced the decision not to continue running for the presidential post is because of his love for the party. He said an agreement was reached after consultations among the top leaders of Parti Rakyat Sarawak or PRS to avoid any misunderstanding.
Laban aku saya amat ke parti, laban aku susiku orang kau nubuh ke parti Rakyat Sarawak PRS sebab kau dia Tan Sri Dato' James Masing tahun 2004. Jadi aku saya amat ke parti itu. Jadi lebuh mereka kami kemudian kata tadi jadi ya kami sama bertemu putus ke tadi awak kata tu carut lalu kedua ya ke tadi ni laban mesti ke namanya mesti ke bekerja sama lah.
He added, if the presidential election were to take place, it may cause a problem to PRS if the 15th general election were called in the near future.
Laban tu semua kami tu berlambat. Sebenarnya ketika berlambat tu kami bertanya namanya mesti berlambat dari election semua tadi ada jawatan presiden sampai ke baru ada Supreme Council members dari mesti orang tu semua orang mesti nak puas hati. Mesti komplain dari orang. Nak siti masalah takut ke parti diregister.
Previously, few leaders from Parti Bangsa Dayak Sarawak PBDS formed PRS because they had problems with their original party. Following that, PBDS registration was revoked from the Registry of Societies Malaysia in 2004. Thus why John SIKIE does not want that history to repeat itself, and PRS has to face the same fate as PBDS. PRS will hold their Supreme Council meeting on the 23rd and 24th of April in Cebu, where the election of the party's new leaders will also take place.
The decision to roll out the second COVID-19 booster dose in the state is to build the body's immunity to the virus and prevent a spike in cases, especially during the upcoming Hari Raya and Gawai Daya celebrations. Deputy Premier Dato Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian stated that the second booster dose was required because the body's immunity began to deteriorate following the administration of the first booster dose in October last year. Dr. Sim, who is also the Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, explained that the second booster dose is essential because it provides greater protection and prevents one from being easily infected by the virus. Elaborating further, he said, besides rolling out the second booster dose, the state is also procuring expensive antiviral pills for treatment of COVID-19. Meanwhile, in a recent statement, Deputy Premier Dr. Ahmad Douglas Uga Amba said Sarawak would begin providing its second COVID-19 booster dose today. He explained that the dose would be given to two groups of people, the first of whom would be those over 60 years old with high-risk comorbidities, and the second of whom would be people aged 12 and above who were moderately or severely immunocompromised. The first Dyslexia Association of Sarawak Centre will be opened in Sarawak by 2024, offering various learning and resource services. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Panigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, approved a grant of RM3.9 million to establish the centre.
Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato' Sri Fatima Abdullah said the establishment of this centre was Sarawak's effort to address the seriousness of the illiteracy problem in classrooms.
Bila mereka sudah ada kemahiran membaca ini, dari segi self-esteemnya, keyakinan diri dan nilai dan harga dirinya akan mereka akan merasa bahawa their self-worth is there. Ya, keyakinan juga akan bertambah baik ya bila mereka sudah dapat kemahiran asas membaca, menulis dan mengira ini.
She stressed that the centre will serve as a benchmark for dyslexia associations all around Malaysia. Additionally, the 1.5 acres land in Desa Wira was given by the Sarawak government, where the 3-storey building would be built on.
The state government has already granted the land at Desa Wira, Batu Kawat, for us to make a new learning and resource centre. Yeah, since 2014, and we have been raising funds, but unable to meet the cost of the construction. So, we are really very grateful that the YB Dato' Sri and also our patron, Datin Azarina, has helped us and supported our cause.
The new centre will be able to cater to around 60 students at a time, compared to the previous centre, which could only accommodate 10 to 15 students.
All stateless and undocumented children will be able to pursue their education. The move, initiated by Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Ministry, aims to simplify the registration process for children without citizenship into government school.
According to Fatima, parents are only required to present relevant documents.
Asalkan nombor 1, bapa itu adalah warga negara. Kemudian ada bukti permohonan untuk kewarganegaraan. Itu perkara kedua. And then jadi kanak-kanak itu boleh masuk ke sekolah.
Fatima said children without citizenship can still register for government schools or government-assisted schools, despite provisions in the Education Act 1996 or Act 550, which require that every pupil must be a citizen. She added that for those who are having complications regarding the matter, can go to the nearest district education office for clarification.
The 6th state game of the Special Olympics Sarawak is officially back after the 2 years hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's dedicated to empowering Sarawakians with intellectual disabilities physically, mentally and socially.
The games will take place from the 1st to 3rd of July at Stadium Osman Hashim in Cebu. Additionally, the Premier of Sarawak will be officiating the games.
Ini tuan rumahnya di Cebu dan ianya akan diadakan di Stadium Osman Hashim yang akan jadi Stadium Azman Hashim itu akan dirasmikan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Premier Sarawak, dan semasa perasmian itu Yang Amat Berhormat Premier kita juga nanti insyaAllah akan merasmikan stokan iaitu the 6th Special Olympic State Games.
Children, students and adults from the Pusat Pemilihan Dalam Community PPDK, Program Pendidikan Khas Integrasi PPKI and NGO Special Needs Sarawak are open to participate where year-round training is offered. The athletes will be representing their respective divisions throughout Sarawak.
Dan atlet-atlet yang terlibat adalah atlet-atlet yang intellectually disabled. So these are the athletes who are in Special Olympics.
Bowling, badminton, bocce, swimming, table tennis, track and field, and soccer will be contested in this year's games. The games began in 1998 and enters its 6th edition in 2022.
After 2 years of the pandemic, the Special Olympics Sarawak is back, happening from 1st to 3rd July in Cebu. It is dedicated to empower individuals with intellectual disabilities. I'm Moika Shimizu with videographer Fikri Razak for TVS.
Coming up right after the break, Maxis aims to increase coverage in Sabah, Sarawak. China's innovative SMEs show strong resilience in the first quarter. Among the upcoming highlights right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
During the pandemic, when there's movement restriction, the port operates as usual.
Welcome back. Old abandoned buildings, hospitals and hotels are normally associated with paranormal activities as depicted in movies and folklore stories. Such places are also frequented by paranormal investigators who are eager to attract high viewers of supernatural activities posted on social media. To offer the same experience, a group of local young people have created the Haunted House series, Takut, in the heart of Kuching City.
Being the first of its kind set up in Sarawak, it allows visitors to experience the thrill of visiting a haunted house. Founder Muhammad Zaizul Hafiz Alimin said the idea of setting up a haunted house in a former hotel building was actually planned in 2019 but had to be postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yang kita tahu kadang-kadang rumah hantu tu cuma ada di fanpage dan susah mau dijumpa, jadi kita mau pulang Datuk supaya tarikanlah supaya ada orang datang di Kuching yang nak coba rumah tu memang situ. Memang jamin benda tu lebih pada kelainan dari rumah tu lain lah. Kini tu ini ada season 2 yang beroperasi untuk 2 tingkat dan hantu-hantu yang kami ada bukan setakat Pontianak, pocong dan toyol. Kami ada lain ni. Kami ada chainsaw man, kami ada clown man, kami ada jenis jump scare.
To add to the fear factor, Muhammad Nazri Arpan noted that the building itself is actually haunted. He said crew members experienced some paranormal activities and ghostly sightings, such as the door being locked and opened on their own and being disturbed while performing prayers.
Makluman juga di bangunan tu, kami orang pun kru ada yang tinggal di situ juga lah. Mun dah tinggal di situ, memanglah bersama-sama sekali dengan yang mistik-mistik tu. Ada yang terkunci di dalam tandas pun ada yang tengah mengemop lantai, yang pun baldi mop beralih ke apa pun ada. Lepasnya ada sesuatu juga lah yang mungkin kami orang sih dapat terangkan dalam tu. Yang ada kami orang jumpa, sudah dibuang dan datang kembali lagi pun ada juga.
For future plans, he said various ideas would be brought, such as the use of technology, making a lost room concept, and reinventing ghostly themes weekly throughout the building. The latest attraction received a positive response from the local community.
Seronok sebab dapat masuk dengan keluarga lah. Cuma situasi dekat dalam terlalu menakutkan. Sampai saya dapat nak berjalan pun, memang kiri kanan semua ada makhluk ya lah. Rasa memang macam real. Memang bukan lakonan ke rasa. Memang betul-betul perasaannya, perasaan takut.
For us, okay. For them, it's the things that fell down from the ceiling. Mine is when the ghosts are actually real people and they start following you from behind. Yeah, and like we didn't know until we saw like behind us.
Paling menyeramkan chainsaw. Chainsaw. Yang paling melucukan anti nya tergugok. Nyata duduk. Kayaknya pada hantu ya.
Right, now moving on to other matters. Dato' Snowden Lawan is eyeing a full district status for his constituency, sub-district Balai Ringin. He said the government will consider and review a holistic plan to develop Balai Ringin and subsequently will change the development landscape of the area.
Balai Ringin Assemblyman said the expanding population and rapid pace of development in the area will need a better administration service in different zones, which he tagged as Zone A, Serian, Zone B, Simunjan, and Zone C, Sri Aman.
Dari situ kita akan lihat dan sebagainya lah. Sebab itu penting sekali kita mendengar daripada cadangan daripada kota-kota masyarakat, KMKK lah, kota masyarakat, tuan rumah, Temenggung, pemancar dan juga daripada agensi-agensi kerajaan.
He said this when officiating at the closing ceremony of Balai Ringin Sub-District Planning and Development Laboratory Program at Sarawak Administrative Centre in Serian on Thursday, April 21st. In the two-day program, the State Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts said various aspects were also discussed, including infrastructure, economy, agriculture, telecommunications, and so on for the benefit of the locals. Also present was the State Deputy Secretary, Dato' Ik Pahon Joik, who shared his view on the role of each member of the government agency in ensuring that development can be implemented smoothly.
Maxis Berhad is committed to expanding its coverage in Sabah and Sarawak by investing further in the two states. Chief Network Officer Abdul Karim Fakir Ali said the company is also working with other key telecommunication firms to expedite infrastructure expansion in Sabah and Sarawak to ensure that Malaysia achieves its national aspiration as stated in the National Digital Network Plan.
Last year, Maxis invested a total of 1.2 billion ringgit to provide its clients nationwide with quality service. He added that Maxis and other key telco players in Malaysia have continued to collaborate under the Jendela initiative. Under the first phase 2020 to 2022 of the plan, telco providers will set up new 4G sites in rural areas and in existing sites, among others. He pointed out that every service provider will take certain districts which allow the sharing of services. Hence, the higher costs due to lack of infrastructure like roads can be reduced.
Malaysia edges closer to full 4G coverage. The network dominance now stands at 95.52%, an improvement from last year, with the average speed increased to 40.13 Mbps.
On the progress of the 3G network sunset, MCMC Chairman Dato Dr. Fadullah Suhaimi Abdul Malik said 99.3% or 252,199 3G network carriers had been shut down with 1.82 million customers or 86.6% had been migrated from the network. Fadullah noted that MCMC recorded a total of 23,803 network complaints since January 1, 2022, dominated mostly by cellular services over 4G service quality issues, particularly in high-density areas such as Kuala Lumpur, Petaling, and Johor Bahru. Commenting on the 5G deployment progress carried out by the Digital National Berhad DNB, Fadullah said, as of end 2021, a total of 500 5G locations have been completed.
Top Glove Corporation Berhad has entered into a 20-year power purchase agreement or PPA with Sheetz Malaysia Sdn Berhad as the world's largest glove maker expands its solar energy use. Top Glove said Sheetz Malaysia, a unit of Japan's Sheetz Energy Inc., will install, own and operate a 10-megawatt peaking grid, with the glove maker buying the electricity generated by Sheetz Malaysia for 20 years. Through the partnership.
It noted that the initial collaboration on a rooftop solar power plant has enabled Top Glove to generate clean and cost-competitive renewable energy for its factories, reducing the company's average electricity costs while lowering its carbon footprint. The company said MWP is a measure of the maximum potential output of power. Top Glove Executive Director Lim Cheong Guan said the company will be working closely with Sheetz Malaysia on a solar energy component to achieve its goal of reducing its carbon emissions intensity by 25% by 2025. To date, Top Glove has 8 factories in Malaysia equipped with solar energy systems.
Thank you for staying with me. And now on to our world affairs. China is boosting its support to SMEs' high-quality growth by encouraging them to pursue a specialized and innovative development path. SMEs have been enhancing their risk resistance, innovative vitality, and development resilience in the first quarter of this year.
Due to the impact of complex and volatile international environment and frequent COVID-19 resurgence, many SMEs face challenges, including a limited number of orders, rising raw material prices, and costs. The Chinese government has identified 4,762 enterprises as state-level little giants with specialization, refinement, characteristics, and novelty, and over 40,000 ones at the provincial level. These enterprises' innovation index reached 173.33 in the first quarter, with a quarter-on-quarter growth of 2.13%.
近3年，这个创新指数都是在不断的上升的，这说明呢，咱们专精特新的企业，它的创新引领能力都十分的强，它的创新活跃度都一直保持在一个较高的水平。
The innovation index is calculated by tracking the changes of the number of highly educated talents and the number of effective invention patents. Meanwhile, despite a year-on-year decline, the expansion index showing demand for industrial factors of little giant firms remained at a pretty high level in the first quarter.
看具体的指标，例如说它的招聘人数，可以看到咱们今年第一季度同比去年和 20年，这个招聘人数都是在不断上涨，就说明说专精特新企业在这个稳就业这个过程之中是有很重要的支撑作用的，抗风险能力也比较强。
By far, the industrial fundamental field employs over 60% of the 4,762 little giant SMEs, while strategic emerging industries and related service industries employs over 80%. The industry distribution is very concentrated, which is an important support to ensure the stability of China's industrial chain and supply chain.
And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has exchanged letters with South Korea's outgoing President Moon Jae-in, thanking Moon for his efforts to improve relations.
Moon sent a letter on Wednesday, April 20th, and promised continued efforts to help lay the foundation for unification based on the joint declarations reached at their summits in 2018. Moon and Kim had made strides in efforts to create lasting peace on the Korean peninsula. However, those achievements fell apart after a second summit between Kim and Trump in Hanoi ended without an agreement on denuclearization. Kim said in his reply on Thursday, April 21st, that their historic summits in 2018 gave hope for the future to the people. Therefore, the two agreed that the ties would develop if both sides make tireless efforts with hope. Kim appreciated the pains and efforts taken by Moon for the great cause of the nation until the last days of his term in office.
And that concludes Tvs Nightline for tonight. Here with me, Charlotte Tomato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.